Hi, good evening, my friends out there. Today I'm talking about the Chan team. Of course, it has raised a lot of excitement and emotions, and this is what we talk about football. Football is supposed to raise our emotions. Uh, we are supposed to either be agitated because it is where most people will channel their energies and even frustrations, energies and frustrations. You relax. Talking about football. So finally, the coach of the national team announced the team for the Chan that is representing us. That where he probably pick 23 that will represent us to at the Chan in Cameroon. Personally, I think apart from the banter that we have been having on social media, I think it's a very good pool of players and some very exciting players. Of course, depending on what you think, your players might actually have been left out. But as a person that has coached football and coached young players, I'm very, very happy to see the likes of Willa Paul making it, and Ndahiro from Sports Club Villa, I think, is an exciting left back. Then see Mboa from Euro A. Kato, I think Kato, very exciting also from KCC. I think there, for me, I think that would be a plus. Plus, if they actually pick these players and bite the bullet and take them to the Chan. You see, there's the thing that you might pick them and you take them for training, then the next thing you know, you have actually gone on and taken players who will not futuristically even make the national team. So I think that this team that has been picked should be a team that we are looking at players with futuristic chances of making the national team, and the quality. We should even be looking at the quality. What kind of players? Then the other thing is the age factor. The age factor, because this is a tournament that scouts come looking for players. Of course, now these days, maybe if you're looking at the local scouting and you're looking at people maybe scouting for the East African region, maybe they'll be looking. But if they're looking for the European, we are looking for the European market. Having to send these players to this European market. Even now, the opening market of North Africa. I think we should look at specifically these young players that have been selected. This tournament should be for these players because let us go and give these young players a chance and see how far they can go. Because if you look at the goalkeeping department, I think Saidi Kenny should be given an opportunity because he has been with, I think, the unders for... Actually, I think for me, I think Kenny should be the goalkeeper for this team. The other people have, yes, they have made their mark. They have played very well and all this stuff. But I think Saidi Kenny should be the man who makes our number one spot. One, because he has come through the grade. He has a very good height, and futuristically, he's should be one of the players that we're looking at to go for the national team. Then, of course, in defense, you look at people like Willa, Kiza, Ndahiro, Mbowa, Luwarida, Kato. I think Kato I think Kato is from Budo. I see even his former coach Simon Mugerwa is online. Kato is from Budo. I liked the way this boy plays and what. And in the midfield, giving I see Achaye, Owori, Kajimu, eh? Watabula, Muchurezi, Poloto. But yeah, Poloto, yes, but Poloto has been injured. I don't know how he actually made this team. But he's a good player, but is he really fit to make this team? I'm really not sure. This team should be really the youth. Somebody's asking me about the Marvin, asking me about Kalisa's impact. I think, okay, personally speaking, I don't think the Kalisa should have made this team. Not because he's not talented, he is talented. I think Kalisa should be waiting to play with his fellow senior players on the national team, not on this Chan team. Kalisa has already been in Morocco. He has pursued his what, so I don't think this should be this should not be his team. Carissa should make way for these young players like Ojera, Orit, Sekajugo. I think those are the players who should be making this grade. Carissa shouldn't actually be on this team. That is my take, but the coach also has his take and reasons. That's why he called him. But Rothomio, actually, the other person on the team is Rothomio. Very, very exciting player from Paida, Blancajos, now at URA. So that was very good. There are players who should be on this team and others who should maybe the coach needs maybe some seniority, but I think it's more exciting to go out and throw out a youth team out there and tell them to make a run for it and see how far we can go and see how many players we can really put out. Because when you look at European leagues and you see, for example, you see the likes of Bakayo Saka at Arsenal, 18 years old, taking on Europe by storm. This, we should also give our young boys, especially in this tournament, opportunity to go out there and showcase. But when we go for when we fear, actually, I call it fearing to lose. When we go and fear to lose, and then we say we go for the maturity. Yes, we'll go for maturity, but we still, okay, we'll lose 1-0. I would rather we lose 3-0, but having, and I'm sure there's no agent who will be looking at the score. The agent will be looking at the material or the quality you've put out on the field of play. Ball handling, passing, innovation. We're looking at all these things. So if Uganda goes into this tournament to think about winning it, I think it's a fallacy. We should not do that. We should go out there to expose our boys so that our senior national team becomes better and better. Because the more we qualify for Africa Cup of Nations, probably we'll get an even bigger chance of getting far. Marvin again asking me, but the coach was like, they are looking at selling him in Europe, so he told him to turn to Maghreb to get exposed at the Chan final. Oh my God. Okay, whatever this is, I think he is trying to say Carissa was told that if he wants to be sold in Europe, they should go return and then be exposed at the Chan. Okay, if this is the case, then I think it's really, I mean, he's already there. He was already in Morocco. So what makes him think that he'll be exposed at the Chan? Well, I don't know. Ogutu is asking me the question, shouldn't we be looking for glory, but we should not be looking for glory, but building a future better squad? I think that is exactly what we're talking about, what I'm talking about here, to build a future better squad of players that we think of quality. Because the national team, apart from the banter we've been having, like, oh, so and so is a good player, he should make the team, my personal assertion is that the national team should have a certain quality. The quality of the player that plays the national team. It doesn't even matter which team you are in. You might be in the bottom side that's playing the league, but you actually have the quality to play the national team. The national team should have a quality of players. The quality of the player. It's not even about form, because I have been seeing like my friends on social media, of course, now we the social media coaches. Fortunately, I'm a trained one, but I'm also one of them. We have been bantering about players. But it's not about the form. A player can actually be on form. Being on form does not necessitate you to be on the national team. I think in Uganda we should go for the thing. Of course, if we are doing it on merit, because there's also the thing that some people believe that maybe some of these players are not called on merit. Some people are called on no who basis. Some people maybe have one call here and there. So if we actually call people on merit, and we are calling the quality of the player. It should not be the form, because form is temporary, but the quality is permanent. If a player is good, he is good. It's not about the form, because there's some players who are on form, and he's just on form, but getting on the national team, he probably wouldn't do. He can't play international football. So we should be looking at that specifically for these young players. So I believe the coach has called a pool of players. He cannot call everybody like we have been wanting. So, but what we want now that he has called them, and I can see that we have a big chunk of them. Now that he has called them, let him go and field these young players. Yes, I'm going to actually remind me that class is permanent. Yes, form is temporary, but class is permanent. If a player is good, then he's definitely a good player, and it doesn't matter what you say about it, he will fit the national team, and that should be the hallmark of the national team. It's the class. It is not the on form players. I mean, because sometimes we all say, oh, how come the leading goal scorer in the league is not in the national team? You probably doesn't have the quality of a national team player. You might have actually banged in as many goals as possible, but you don't have the quality. Or you might, So that is that is okay. Marvin, you're asking so many questions, but I'll answer still. Coach, I'm asking one question outside this. What is stopping Zaga from making it to the top levels of those he was better than at the time they broke out? Well, this is not new, because there are some players who are so good when they're young, but as they grow, the other factors come in. Other factors come into play, because talent and skill alone is not enough. And we have been telling this to many people out there, that it doesn't matter how skillful you are, but talent is just not enough. You need to have other factors that drive you, because you might have factors like the things that influence you. Some players don't like training. Some players have family issues. Others, as soon as they break onto the scene, then they develop other habits that hinder them from actually training. Some of them get married at 18 years. After he finds he has a wife at home at 18 years. So many things hinder the progress of these players. And secondly, also the head matters. Is the player putting enough attention to the things that he needs to do and progress? Does he listen? Does he have an ambition? And does he even go to school? Because going to school at that age sometimes also keeps the player grounded. So if they are not going to school, sometimes they start behaving like people who are 30 years of age. So that is it. So that's my take. I think we need to give these players a chance. The coach has selected his team. But we shall continue bantering. The whole point of yesterday is when I was talking about the bantering. Yes, let the fans talk about the lineups. Let them talk about. But for me now, I'm talking more as now a coach who has coached young players. And if young players are given the opportunity to play football, then I think there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than it, because we need to see that the best talent in Uganda will be playing at the Chan, not the most on-form players. That is very different. But the best players, technically gifted players, should be able to play at the Chan. Because if you look at because I would like to see Kiza, Ndahiro playing Rwadida, Kato playing at the Chan. I mean, that would be exciting. I mean, Willa down the right, Kiza the left, on the hero on the left. Then you have Anukani, Watabula, and yes, I see Kajumu. Actually, Kajumu is there. Saidi Cheine, I think this one is now becoming a late boomer because now Cheine has overlapped into another generation of players. Then at the front, I would like to see Ojera, Olit, Rothomio, Sekajugo. I mean, Sekajugo has one of the deafest left foot that anyone would love to see. I mean, dribbling, he's a very good dribbler. His left shot is so venomous. So we need to give such talent the platform from where they can actually blossom and help the national team. Now, Daudi Ikaba, my friend from Ginger, is asking a question that what's ideal starting 11? Now, of course, now I now become a social media coach and say what is my ideal. Of course, now if looking at, I'll answer that question. Looking at what they have put out, yeah, I would like to see Saidi Kenny in goal, Willa at right back, Chiza at left back. I want to see Luwadila. I think Luwadila of Vipers is also an exciting centre back. I think a centre pairing of Luwadila and probably Kato would be exciting for me. Luwadila, Kato, even Mboa in centre back. Then in the middle, I would like to see Anukani. Very exciting. I mean, I like the way he thinks when he has the ball. Kajumu, very industrious. Watabla from Vipers, I think, has also been a very good player. Then, yeah, I think Achaye, but I don't know if Achaye will make it because I think he is a bit too young for all these other players that have come in. But those kinds of Owori is also another exciting one. And then at the front, depending on what the front three probably. Of course, without a doubt, I would want to see Sekajugo. Sekajugo should be given a chance to start on the left. Then Rothomio, because Rothomio is deadly. Because for there's something about these boys, especially these boys. I've been dealing with these boys from the northern Uganda, especially from that Arua Nebi region. They have this spirit of this kind of warrior kind of spirit that when he has the ball, he's going to pass through bricks and walls to make sure that ball gets into the goal. So I would like to see Rothomio, Sekajugo, and yes, and Bayo, because also Bayo he really finishes so well. So that answering that would be, I think, an 11 that I would want to see there for us playing. But these young boys, I want to see these young boys. I want to see a Ugandan team that is under the age of 23, 24, under there, because this would be giving us another chance to see our team for maybe the Olympic qualifiers, because it's also nice for Uganda to ever qualify to play in the Olympics, because now these would be the boys to take us to the Olympics. And usually teams that get into the Olympics always end up going to the World Cup. Because if Uganda is looking, for example, to World Cup in Qatar, these kind of players, if they can make it to the Olympics, then chance is that we will. Now this one's like, hey, Ibra, hey, na ye coach was social media. You see, the thing about social media, what people don't understand about social media is an interaction. People think that it's social media, if you do not tap into it, it will leave you behind, because social media is the way we interact. Previously, people had no way of expression. For example, there's no way I would talk to you to understand what I think. You'd only hear what people think about me and what other people say. And then other people will have media to say things, and they'll go completely unchallenged. And nobody would say anything back about it. Okay. Daudi still asking the question about Revita. Revita is a very, very good player. Yeah, he's a very good player. That's what I will say. But I would like to see Ruarida, and Kato as my partnership, because I think I would love to see that Kato for that frame. We need that kind of frame of players in the national team, because what has been beating Uganda in the previous years has been our size. Our size on the continent has been wanting, because the more small players you have, then they have to be extremely very talented, extremely very talented. They can keep the ball for longer periods of time and what. But when you have big players, then sometimes even when you fail to control the ball on the ground, then they can hustle and bustle all the players on the field of play. You have seen the West Africans have done that for years. Senegal, Cameroon, they might not be as talented, but they will actually hustle you off that ball, and you will not have a chance. So when we get players like Kato in the frame of Kato, we need to take that opportunity, because yes, we can have these small players up front, the Anukanis playing the, but you need to have these big players. You need to have these big players in. So when you have players like the Mboas, very huge players like the Mboas, you have Kato. I mean, those are the players that we need to put a lot of emphasis on. Now, when you look at Bayo, also Bayo is a man mountain. You need to have such a player who is intimidating, who a striker will look at and think twice and say, oh, what am I going to do with these players? Then, of course, you mix it up with the sharpness and the finesse of these small ones, like Seka Jugo. Yeah, Seka Jugo isn't a very big man. Then yes, the Kajimu is not very big, but when they have the ball, you need those ones who can. But size is very important. We need to make sure that we give the players with this big size, to give them an opportunity to see how far we can go with this. So that's my take. I think that yes, the national team coach has called these players, but now we the technical people who are technically minded, leave alone the social media coaching and what. Now we're asking the coach, okay, now that you've called them and this is your choice, can you give us, as Uganda, give us an opportunity to see our young players, give us an opportunity to see our young players play in the Chan, and let's allow them to express ourselves, because you see, the fear of defeat is what has been hindering Uganda's progress, because we fear to lose a lot. We fear to lose, that we shall do everything to make sure. Actually, sometimes when a team beats us 1-0, it's like, oh, you see, Egypt beat us 1-0. But you see, Egypt beats you 1-0, and the whole game you have not done anything but from falling and falling and trying to stop them from actually scoring. That shouldn't be the case. I would rather you allow them to, you play if they score 3, but guess what? There was something that we learned. There is movement up front. There is trying to look for goals. I mean, very good example is the KCC team that I think played the Egyptian Giants, where the game, I think the match ended 4-3, if I remember, somewhere in. Yes, that kind of performance, like score me, I score you, score me, I score you. I learned something from it. Not of I defend, then in the last minute I lose, then everybody says, oh, we tried. We didn't try. That's not football. Football is not just trying to find out a way of actually just stopping the opponent. Let us try to play later, because that's the only way we shall move forward. So that is my take. You can continue sending me the questions, especially those ones in my inbox, and those ones who follow me on my YouTube channel. Still send me those messages, and we shall always discuss them, and it's interesting to be in touch with you. So I wish you a nice evening, and God bless.